jabba jab, bamboozle, nuka noozle, bippity bop, she-gall. You jabba jab, bamboozle, nuka noozle, bippity bop, she-gall. I mean, you keep on talking, but you don't know where to turn it off.
I don't care what you say. I still like my opening music. I'm a big boy. I can do what I want. All right, to talk about the upcoming convention, yeah, that one. The mouth on the city council, to mouth off a bit more, how Charlie Brown can get away with wearing a long-sleeve blue shirt and short sleeves. I'm sorry, short pants. We got to get a camera down there. You look pretty sharp there.
You gave away my secret. Welcome to July.
It's like when you go to the newsrooms, you go to Channel 9 or something, you see the guys wearing shorts, but they're wearing suits on top.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they do that.
Good to know what goes on in the council. And from the Denver Post, Stephen Keating, glad to have you here.
Good to be with you.
You've been following this. Are you tired of the DNC?
Not at all. I think this is the greatest story out there.
Why so?
Well, you got everything going.
Because I've got some reporter friends who's like, "Was this just go away? It's draining the oxygen out of everything. There are other stories."
It's not just a political story; it's a cultural moment. I mean, just these two candidates, Obama and McCain. You know, they're just entertaining in and of themselves. And then you got the convention coming to Denver, and the business and the security and the everything around it.
Protesters and the protesters and the protesters. And
will you be out there, John, with a picket?
Oh yeah, I'm protesting. I'll go there with my chain. I'm going to chain myself to something. I'm not too sure what.
In the truth, you guys are selling ads. You're selling a lot of them.
That's a good thing.
True,
You're going to do a 36-page wraparound every day.
I got something from your ad department at the Independence Institute saying, you want to advertise during the DNC. I'm like, who the hell's going to listen to me at the DNC?
Well, why should TV make all the money, right?
That's a fair point.
Absolutely.
So all right, couple financial questions. Now, $50 million coming from the feds to offset all the costs for security. Did you guys get the money, or
We're
is this
close? Very close. Hopefully, we'll get it before the convention.
Now, that's
what's been promised.
Now, that's
unlike Boston.
Now, this is the feds. This has nothing to do with the DNC. This is just the feds.
Still taxpayer money.
Still taxpayer money.
But it's the feds. You're right.
All right. And the mayor is out fundraising for the DNC to make $40 million. Now,
we're down to 10.
Now, that's what he said. I read the LA Times that nobody can really find out for sure because the press won't do their job and actually find out where he is on this.
John, they don't have to release the spending and the details until after the convention.
All right.
This is a private event in a private building.
All right, private event, private park. So what is the mayor doing for the last several months? Is he getting any mayoring done, or is he out fundraising?
He's fundraising.
But not for the city, but for his private.
FUND.
Yes. He's fundraising for this private corporation or private entity that doesn't have to release its numbers, instead of doing whatever mayor does. So have you guys missed him at the council? Is he able to do his regular duties?
No, he's got a good staff to back him up. But he's also being supported by the governor in the fundraising efforts. And but it's a burden. Absolutely, no doubt. And we're not a big city in terms of corporate-based businesses, unlike our friends up in St. Paul. They have a lot more corporations there, and it's easy to raise money. And then you got some labor initiatives on the ballot this year that people are deciding to put the money fighting or promoting those initiatives. And so there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of hands out, and but we got to make it.
So big question: what kind of weapons are you guys buying?
Hopefully enough to manage the city through this.
Do you get to keep
but some
them
people think
afterwards?
it's an invasion.
Now, the ACLU wants to find out what toys you guys are buying. I just want to know, can I play with them afterwards? Who gets to keep the toys?
We're not worried about that afterwards. We're worried about, believe me.
Afterwards, will we barricade the politicians? The mayor made an interesting slip last week when he was out someplace, and he said, if I had to do this over again, I wouldn't do so. Now, you actually brought this quote with you, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Give it to us, because this is, and tell me if you feel the same way.
Let's see if I can find it here. If we'd known back then what we know now, we'd never have done it. But he added very quickly, and what an incredible shame that would have been. That's a 2-for-1 quote, John.
We wouldn't have done it. Oops.
Oops. I forgot.
I mean, but what a shame that would be. All right, do most folks regret doing this so far, from what you can tell, or is it still pretty exciting?
You mean among the organizers and the officials?
Yeah, I'm talking about Hickenlooper and
I
Ritter.
think it's a high wire act, but I think they also, for civic reasons and political reasons, they think this is Denver's moment at a time when the Democratic Party appears to be ascendant. I think that's what they're hoping for. And, you know, what I observed, I guess, from conventions is you remember 2 or 3 things. And in Boston, you remembered maybe John Kerry saying he was reporting for duty and that the protesters were caged and that downtown was shut down a little bit. And so the question, I think, is what's Denver going to be remembered for? And I would guess Invesco Field, whatever happens that Thursday night.
Good or bad? Good or bad. Because that has the potential to just break up, not only just for Obama, will this work? It'll probably work as a media thing, but the idea of moving this, the logistics of moving the security here to another area, having another 60,000 people there, neighborhoods, regular family neighborhoods around it where Recreate 68 can get around. I mean, this is a gamble.
It is a gamble. It's a gamble weather-wise, too. And we have to maintain the field. There's a CU-CSU football game days later. And then how do you get those 75,000 people, you know, into that ballpark, into that stadium? I think you're going to have to inspect them, use the hand, you know, mechanism, you know, to check them and be sure that they don't have anything on them. It's going to be huge. I think the lines are going to be long, very long, in fact. Have a lot of patience. People are going to have a lot of patience for this.
Yeah, I watch the Bronco games now at home just because I don't want to go to a Broncos game there as much. So I don't know if I want to be.
But it's a great populist move, though, you know, for the senator. No doubt. And if we got a nice sunset, and it could be a huge winner. And you're getting out into the public, and I think that's part of his image.
And it's also there's a political story or speculation about a political story underlying that, which is that one of the reasons to put it into a stadium with 80,000 people rather than the Pepsi Center with 20,000 is that in that 20,000, particularly among the 6,000 that are delegates, you have half that were Hillary Clinton supporters. And Obama has an opportunity in Invesco to really make it his people rather than her people.
Drown her supporters out? Is that what you're saying?
If there were any move to you know, at the convention to you know, put her name in nomination for president or vice president.
That's clever.
Which could happen.
All right, now, if you had to go from this point, Charlie, what are you most concerned about? I mean, if you said, here's my #1 worry about something going wrong, what's either fiscal, safety, what?
Oh, it's got to be public safety. The truth is nobody knows who's going to show, how many. We keep hearing tens of thousands. The issue is, of those tens of thousands of protesters, how many are going to be reasonable protesters and obey our laws, and how many are going to cross the line? How many are coming here to get arrested, to take us to court, to try to win some money from the city and county of Denver? Nobody knows. Nobody
When you say win some money, be a bit more specific.
You can file charges against the city for violating their First Amendment rights. That happens at every event. It's now more sophisticated. People have the cameras. They can take pictures. They record everything. And, there was one case in, I believe it was Seattle. An individual was in jail for 7 hours. He won the equivalent of $34,000 per hour. Probably wished he'd just stay 14 hours. So
let me ask you this one. Unconventional Colorado, or unconventional Denver, I forget what it is, the group of anarchists. I don't know how you have an organized group of anarchists, but they're much more sophisticated than I am. They say if you take the $50 million that the feds are giving you, and instead of spending it on security, they won't be a problem if you just go ahead and give it to health care and other things.
So you mean pay them off?
Right. So I'm assuming you're going to jump at this as a politician.
Oh, sure, right.
So this is on the table.
All one has to do is read their websites. And in many cases, the threats they're making to host, for example, what they call Denver's Day Off, where they're going to lie down on Spear Boulevard and block traffic. I mean, you can go down the list what some of these groups are planning. And you mentioned Recreate. That's only one group. We have many. We have dozens of others coming in. They're not, perhaps, will be as polite as Recreate, if even indeed Recreate is going to be polite. I mean,
this is a great deal. They won't cause any. Trust the anarchists. They're anarchists. Would they ever lie?
John, get real. Come on.
Bring it over here. You've been following this for a while. I understand this man's in a tight position. He's got to say, oh, this is going to be great for the city. We're taking our precautions. What's really going to happen? Let's talk protesters first. Is this just the million-man march where they say, we're going to bring in 50,000 people, and of course 50 show up, and of them 3 cause problems? How do you see it so far?